Okay, so in last session we have discussed the NumPy. Okay, so why NumPy we have discussed already because it is more fast than normal list, and we have seen some of the methods to create arrays and NumPy arrays and how to use in mathematical functions. Okay, so now today we are going to discuss Pandas, which is pretty much important for machine learning. So before machine learning, we need to do different things with data. We have to clean our data, and we have to prepare our data for machine learning algorithms. For that scenario, we have to use Pandas. Okay, so what is Panda? So it is basically a library which is used for a data manipulation, data cleaning, and data visualization also. But for data visualization, we use Matplotlib, not Pandas. But it is possible to do using Pandas also. But it is more preferable to use Matplotlib. And we are going to discuss both of these things in further sessions. So we're going to start with Pandas today. So first thing is how to create data frame. Okay, so there are different ways we can create data frame. Okay, the first method is, and very famous method, that is from dictionary. Okay, so if you are familiar with Python, so you know what is dictionary. It is basically a key value pair. Okay, so key and value. So it is denoted by curly braces. Okay, and this is our key and this is our value. So my key is name and the value of the names are the list of names. Okay, and the second key is age and the list of ages. Similarly, city and phone. So this is simple dictionary, Python dictionary I have created over here. Now, how to convert this into data frame? Okay, now I have imported here, import pandas as PD. Now this pandas works as a PD. Now my Python compiler will understand PD as a panda. Okay, so I will write simple PD dot data frame. This is the syntax. Okay, this is the keyword data frame and it is case sensitive. Okay, so the D should be capital and F should be capital of frame. So PD dot data frame, and here I am passing data, which is the dictionary. So syntax is very simple, just pd dot data frame and enter the data over here. And I am assigning this to a one df variable. Okay. Now if I try to execute this variable, okay, you can see this is the data frame I am talking about. Okay. This was already a dictionary. But if I print data, if I print data here, you see just a dictionary JSON format, I am getting the value. But if I convert it to data frame, then I can visualize beautiful table over here. Okay, so this is the data frame and I can apply many things using data frame we're going to discuss in today's class. Okay, but in this JSON value, I cannot do many things so easily. But in data frame, I can do mathematical analysis more easily than the normal data. Okay, so that's why we use Pandas data frame. Now my data frame is ready and I can do anything with this. We'll discuss it. But the second method, how to create data frame, basically there are multiple methods. Okay, so I have just completed data frame creation using a dictionary. Okay, now second is list of dictionary. Okay, so as we know, this is the square bracket and whatever inside it, it is a list items. Okay, so the first item is dictionary within a list. Okay, which is name and corresponding name, age and corresponding age, so city, similar to each and every dictionary over here. Okay, so our data is list of dictionary because inside we have key value dictionaries. Okay, now similar pd dot data frame and directly pass data over here and I will get simple table. So we don't need to do anything. We just have to pair our column name, that is key value key, and the values corresponding to particular column. Okay, similarly here I have done the same. I have name and list of names, but here in each dictionary differently it is mentioned. Okay, so that's the second method, and the third method will be we can create using list of list. So basically this is the outer list, and within list I have three different lists with values. Okay, name, age, and city. Now what I can do is pt.data frame, and I'll pass data, this list of data, and I don't know, I have not mentioned my columns over here. So what I can do, I can pass, this is the column parameter. Now I can pass any parameter I want. Okay, so this is my data, and I know there are three columns. Okay, so three columns, three names different. Okay, so I pass name, age, and city. In here over, we have passed the column and values within a data, but here I am passing columns separately. Here is only data, and here is only columns. That this is also we can do. So if I execute this one, I can get simply a data frame. Okay, so these three are the basically most frequently used to create data frame. Another way is we will import from different source file. So we can import from JSON file, we can import from XLS file, we can import from CSV files. Okay, we're going to discuss in further session, but today I am trying to give you overview how to create manually a data frame, because we need to create many times dummy data in our machine learning project. So in that case, we can use this one of the three method. This is the most popular method. So if you don't want to remember all the things, but you should know there is a different way. So this is the most preferable way to create data frame manually. Just a dictionary, and within the dictionary, just try to give a key and list of value. That's pretty much simple. Okay, so I think the creation of data frame is clear for everyone. Can you please confirm me in the chat if there is any doubt? Okay, so I assume that it is clear for everyone. So I'll proceed further. Now I have created data frame DF. That's fine. Now how will I access the columns and the values within this data frame? Okay, so if I need to access particular column, so what I'll do, so I will write df. Okay, and within a square bracket I will type any column name. So let's say I need to access age column. I need to print out all the age. Okay, so what I'll do, just df and within bracket age. Okay, now I will get all the age, but it is case sensitive. If I do this small, okay, small letter a, now I will execute, it will say me a key error. Okay, whenever there is key error means there is no age in my data frame. So that's why we need to be careful, it is case sensitive. Okay, this is my, now another method is to access using directly df dot column name dot age. Okay, you can use direct dot age. It will also give you a same result, but this one is more preferable than this method. Okay, this can you can use this also, there is no issue with that. But many times there will be two name within a one column. So for example, first name, last name. Okay, and there is a space between that. So if you need to access last name, so you cannot access using this last name. Okay, so you have to put this into uh, quotes and put it like this. Okay, so that's why I prefer this, and many people prefer normally this. Okay, so it's your choice whatever you want to use. But this is the two method you can access the columns. Okay, now this is my column, how to access column. Okay, and you are saying here the d type, it's object. I will show you what this does this mean. Okay, but first we'll try to understand data frame things. Now, another thing is, yeah, simple. This is also a creation of data frame using dictionary. This is my key. This is my list of values. This is my key. This is my list of values. It just I'm showing that I can give integer number also. It's not that we need to pass string only. Because if you are familiar with Python dictionary, then you know these things. Okay, I'm just giving an overview. So if somebody has forgotten the things, so I can give you revise. Okay, so so the dictionary can have any type of key. It can be a string, it can be a what you call integer. Okay, and here we can have a list also. Okay, so this is another way. Okay, yeah. So now I will talk about some different functions. Okay, so here are the most frequently used functions. Okay, index, column, data type, and there are n number of, there are more than 100 of functions in our data frame we can use, but these are the most frequently we need to use. Okay, we need to know these all functions. Now I will start with one data frame, dummy data frame. So here I have created one data where I have name, code, column 2, dummy column, column 3, just a dummy column, levels, and developer. Okay, so it's true, false. It's a boolean, whether the specific person is a developer or not, or specific person is at what level ABC, just categorizing ABC. Okay, and these two are just demo data for demonstration only. Okay, now I have created here the data frame, simple. I have passed this D over here, D, and I have creating index. Now I am creating index here. Now what is index? When I try to create without index, let me show you first. Okay, so let's say I am not passing any index over here. So what I'm getting the data. So I'm getting name, all these things, and datas. And you can see here the default index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the index that data frame default that it gives. Okay, but if I want to give my own index, okay, if I want to give my own index, so I can pass that index. This is a parameter. Okay, you have to pass the same parameter, and you can pass the list of values or index you want to give. Okay, now I am passing index. Now let's see what it will do. Now you can see here the index starts from 1. Okay, or you can give any index. It's not your problem. Okay, you can give anything. Okay, whatever you want to give. Index is all up to you. Whatever index you will give over here, it will show up here. Okay, that it's simple as that. Okay, let's say we'll give a meaningful index. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's see. Now here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm getting. Okay, so that's the concept of index that you can pass by your flexibility, whatever index you want to pass. Now, what is df.index? Now df.index will give all the value of index in your data frame. Okay, similarly df.columns, it will give all the columns name over here. Okay, so you can see I have printing index, df.index. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 index are here and 7 index are here as well. Now df.columns. So here name, column, name, code, column 1, call 2, call 3, level, developer, all these columns are. So let's say I have 100 of column in my data. Let's say in my Excel file, I importing my Excel file. I need to see all the column name. So I don't have to scroll my whole Excel and check the column name. I can just do df.columns and 100 of column will print out and I can copy paste or use anywhere. Okay, so that's a very useful thing if we need to use column, or similar with index also. Now the third is data type, D type. Okay, so what is D type? It will give you all the data types of my column. Okay, so when you do df is my data frame here. Okay, so df dot data type, D types basically. Now it will print this thing. Now what is this? Name. Now my name is, you can see over here, my name is string, right? But it's giving me object. Okay, why it's giving me object? That's because in data frame, whenever there is a value within a string, so the data frame consider this whole column as an object. Okay, but if I try to access specific value within this object, okay, so example current, but current is a string itself, but this whole column is considered as an object in data frame. Okay, so don't be confused about that. What is object? Okay, so similarly in column call 2, Call to, I have passed the string, list of string. So call to is also considered as an object in this data frame. Now rest, integer and float and boolean is considered normally as int and float and boolean, bool here. Okay, so that's not a problem. Just the new thing is that in pandas data frame, the value which has string data type, it will consider as an object. Okay, that's a simple thing. Now another is, these two are very simple. Okay, index, column, data types. Okay, now info. What is info? So when we try to execute df.info, it will give all the information of the columns. Okay, so here it is saying that it is part, class type is, the type is data frame. Okay, so from pandas dot code dot frame dot data frame. Okay, so it is coming from panda till data frame, so it is a pandas data frame. Okay, now it's saying data columns over here. Okay, 6 columns are there, and column name, all the column names, and whether it's a null or not. Okay, so if there is any null in the column or not, so I don't have any null values, all are perfectly here in my data. Okay, so total 7 are there. Okay, yeah, I know where 7 are there. And what are the data types that we have seen here? D types we can do from D types, but info automatically give all the data types itself. Okay, and it's also saying D types. So how many of they are boolean, how many data types are float, how many are integer, how many are object. Okay, so yeah, and moreover it's giving me memory use also. So how many bytes it's using? It's using 343 bytes. Okay, so whole lot of thing information I'm getting from here. It's simple as that, nothing new. Okay, now another thing is df.head. Okay, so what is df.head? Whenever I do df.head and pass any value over here, let's say I am passing 5, it will give me top 5. Okay, it will give me top 5 data. This one row, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, 5 row. Okay, similarly if you are to give two, or for example, it's a, I have thousands of records in my data. Okay, but I need to check only top 5. Okay, that I can do. Okay, so head is just for taking the slice of upper level only. Okay, if you want to slice different chunks of data from my data frame, then we need to use other things that we'll discuss in this class only. Okay, yeah, so this is the basic use of head. That's simple. And another is size. Okay, so what is size basically? So I have 7 rows, right? And 1 2 3 4 5 6 column. So how many total number of data I have here? 6 into 7, right? 42. Okay, so basically it give me a total number of size. Okay, here is the small data, but let's say you have thousands of data, so you do not need to do it manually, right? You can just do df dot size and it will give you how many elements and how many boxes are there in your Excel file or data element. Okay, so that's a use of size. And now another is, if there is any doubt, you can ask me in between the chat. Okay, there is no issue. Uh, I will clear a doubt in the middle of the discussion only. Okay, so if there is any doubt, just ping me in the chat. Okay, so yeah, head is clear, I think. So size was pretty much simple. Now another is select D type. Okay, so what is select D type? So we have completed index, column, D type, head, shape. Okay, shape will also come. Okay, so select D types means, so I have like in this data I have 6 columns. Okay, and 6 columns have different type of data. So name has string, which is we call object, and code has integer, and this has also object. Okay, and this also has float, this has object, and this has boolean. Okay, so many times what we need to do is, for let's say example, I have hundreds of columns, and out of 100 of columns I need to fetch only those columns which has integer values. or which has string values, or which has only Boolean values. Okay, so in that case, how do I fetch only those columns? So in that scenario, I will need select dtype function. Okay, so what I will do, I will do just df is my data frame, simple. I will type select dtypes, and you can type include. So include means what type of data type you need to include in the data. Okay, so in this case, I'm passing to include object only. Okay, so if I execute this, now it will give me only the object type of, means string type of columns, name call to level 2. Let's say I am saying I need only columns with Boolean value, which has Boolean values. Okay, now it will give me developer. Okay, so because the developer has only Boolean values. Okay, so similarly, you can include anything. Okay, or there one more thing, if you want to exclude also. Okay, so let's say I want to exclude Boolean, but I need except Boolean all the columns. Okay, so I can do that also. So here you can see all the columns appears except Boolean, which is true false developer. Okay, so you can exclude any one also, or you can include if you want to need specific, that you can also do. So that is the use of D types, select D types. Okay, so based on data type, you can select or you can fetch the data from a data frame. Now another is values. Nothing. It's just simple. Without columns, it will give you the array data. Okay. So I'm doing here df dot values. Now you can see all the data within that data frame I'm getting. Okay. And this is the array type of data. Okay. If I do this type. Okay. So you see numpy.nd array. So we have discussed this one in last session, right? Numpy array. Okay. So this pandas will automatically convert it to numpy array only. Why? Because I have told you that numpy array is 50 times faster than normal list in Python. Okay. And we're talking about machine learning. So there are complex algorithms there. In the complex algorithms, we cannot pass directly list of data. We need to pass numpy array because it's mathematically more fast. Okay, so if you do mathematical computation, so we need numpy array. So pandas, when we try to feed our data using pandas, that it will automatically feed in the machine learning algorithm numpy is data only. Okay, so this is the thing over here. So numpy, so df dot values. Okay, now next you need to check what is the shape of data. Okay, so how many rows and columns over here. Okay, so you can check simple and df dot shape. So it will give you a row comma column. Okay, so I have how many rows? I have 7 rows, right? See, 1 2 3 5 7, 7 rows and 6 columns. Okay, in here 6 column. Okay, it's simple. Now next the value is shape. Okay, now another thing is n unique. Now what is n unique? N unique stand for number of uniques. Okay, so whenever I do df dot n unique for each column, so name is my one column, code is one column, call 2 is my one column, call 3 is my one column, it will give me number of unique values. Okay, so let's print my df here. We'll check what it's printing. This is my df. Okay, now you can see in name how many unique values are. Total there are 7 values. Okay, but this will give me only the unique values. Okay, so let's say Karan is appearing only one time, Rahul is appearing only one time, Imad is appearing 2 times. Okay, Sil is appearing one time, Jerry is appearing one time, Rajat is appearing one time. So here we can see this Imad is appearing twice. So it remove this Imad. Okay, not remove, basically it doesn't count 2 Imad, basically it will count only 1. Okay, so out of 7 there will be only 6 value. Okay, similarly for code, here triple 1, see this triple 3 at 2 times. Okay, so again only 6 times. Okay, so that's the unique number of value it will count. For example, let's say level. Okay, for level here it's showing 3 values only. Okay, so yeah, a b c, so a is repeating, B is repeating twice, C is repeating twice. Okay, so only there are three unique values. Similarly, for developer, there are two values, but it is Boolean. Okay, so there will be true or false. Okay, so n unique gives us a number of unique values in each columns. It's that simple as that. Okay, nothing more. Now there is one more thing that is unique. Okay, so what is unique? So here I am getting number of unique values, but if you want to know what are those unique values, let's say there are in one column there are 500 uh, values, 500 unique values, let's say. So what are the five unique values? Okay, so I can access using unique function. Now for that column, let's say for level column, it's showing three unique value. Now I need to check what are those values, three values. Now I simply copy paste my column name over here. Okay, so df, I have told you how to access the column in this way. So in data frame df, pass the value within a quotes, single or double, as you wish. Okay, and just dot unique value. Okay, now it will print me ABC. Okay, so ABC are the unique values in this column. Now this the n unique is already giving me a whole lot of things over here, but if you want to check in only particular column only, so you can pass the particular column and check the n unique just like this. This if you are applying in the data frame df.n unique directly, then it will give you the whole column name and corresponding unique values. But if you don't want this, let's say you have 100 of column, but you don't want to see 100 of column printing over here. You want to evaluate exact one specific column only. So you can pass in data frame df level and try to pass n unique. It will work on this also. No need to pass in whole data frame. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, so this is the unique and n unique. So is there any doubt till here? Or I think it's pretty much simple, so I don't think so. If you doubt, then just ping me, okay? I'm continuing. Yeah. Now another function is NA. Okay. These all things are very much important when we start data cleaning or data analysis part. Okay. So whenever there is a machine learning model, we need to feed our data. So we need to do these all things. Okay. Without this, we need to analyze what data we are preparing, right? So without preparation, we cannot directly go into machine learning. So these are the important thing I am discussing. So now there is NA. Okay. So what is NA? Is NA means basically is null, nan. So in Python there is like NaN, right? So what is NaN? So those who have learned Python, they should know what is NaN. It is not a number. Okay, not a number means not a value. So there are many. So if you get any, let's say Excel data or CSV data, so in many columns, in many rows, you can see null values, blank data. Okay, or there is null value, blank data, or missing data. We can say anything. So we need to check that also before feeding our data to our machine learning, right? So if there is any null data or missing data, we need to figure it out in which column we have, because in the data we have lots of missing values. Okay, here I have only 6 columns and 7 rows, but in actual data we have thousands of records, by right? So we cannot go one by one. So we need functions for that. So is NA do? So let me remove this any first, and I will show you what is NA do. So you can see over here what is NA is doing for each data. It's showing whether the column has null value or not. Okay, so for this, it's saying false, means no, it doesn't have null data. False means no, it doesn't have null data. So you can see in every record, there is no null values. But let's say this data I have hundred of records and 50 of columns. Okay, so it will print in similar way, right? So I cannot see all the columns. So in that case, there is one more function, is any. Sorry, not is any, only any. Okay, so if I apply any after this is any, okay, now it will give me just one list. Okay, it will give me a column name, and within that column name, corresponding false or true. Okay, whether there is any data null or not. So this will be true if the name column has one or more than one. Okay, so at least one. So if there is one or one column also, one data also, which is null value or missing data, then it will give me a true. So that's the meaning of is any or any. So if any data is at least one, okay, so if there is all the columns, all the data are not null, then it will give me false. So in my case here, I don't have any null data. I will demonstrate the null data also, but right now I have no null data. Okay, so that's what giving me false. Now another is null. Okay, now is any or is null is similar. Okay, I don't know why they have created these two functions, but I have researched and I found that it's not different from different. It always show that is null is the alias of is any. Okay, something like that. So yeah, but you can use anything. I basically use this is NA because I have started using is NA from the starting point. So is NA is null, is none basically, and is null is basically, you know what is null. Okay, so in these two way you can use anything as per your comfort. Whatever you want to use, both are doing 100% similar things. Okay, not a same. Okay, so I am not going to discuss is and null. So these two are similar. Now, let's say another is df.count. Okay, what is df.count? You can see name 7, code 7. So it's basically giving a number of counts, but it's giving the count which are not null. So in my column, let's say I have name, I have 7 records. Okay, it will not count, it will not consider duplicate. Okay, just like unique, it will consider imad and these two column, these two data same, right? But here it will give you the total number of count only, which are not null. So let's say example, out of if yeah, so if I replace this Rahul with NA, let's say none value, okay, or I will replace with this, I will remove this Rahul data from this name column. So what will my dot count will give me for name? It will give me 6 value. Okay, because it will count only the not null. It's simple as that. Nothing new. Okay, it will count just the not null values of each column. This column. Okay, this column, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 6. Okay, now there is some parameter in count axis. Okay, so there is count, there is the same function, but with there is one parameter we can pass, that is axis equals to 1. So whenever we do x equals to 1, okay, it means that I am applying in the row. So earlier I am applying in the column. This is the column for name column, code column, okay, level column, this column. Now when axis equals to 1 means this axis, this axis, this row, this row. Okay, now how many data are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 not null values. Okay, so that's the same thing it's giving me. For first row, there is 6 non-null values. So second, for up to 7. Okay, same as this also, this only. But if you need to operate within a row, then you can pass axis equals to 1. Okay. Now next function will be describe. Okay, now what is describe? So df dot describe, you can see what it's giving me, code and column, only 2 row. Why? Let me show you. So you can see here, this name is object type, okay, which is string type, and this call to is also object type, okay, and this also a object type, and this is a boolean value. So what describe do is it will try to do some mathematical stat analysis in my data frame data. Okay, so you can see these are numerical data. So by default, it will give you a numerical data stats. So I have only two columns which are numerical. Okay, so it will give me a count, it will give me a mean, it will give me a standard deviation, it will give me a minimum value out of my whole column. Okay, it will give me 25% of what we call percentile, the upper quartile basically. Okay, we'll discuss in our machine learning part what is quartile, upper quartile. Okay, so many of you know about that. If you are not familiar with the, so don't bother right now. So it's basically a quantile method, we'll discuss it. Okay, and what is the max value? So these are the mathematical operation it will do automatically in every numerical columns. Okay, so if you need for, so I don't need to do specific looping or something like that for just to get the uh, count or mean or standard deviation or max. Okay, or I don't need to use the dot max function in over the my over my columns. Okay, I will just do dot describe and it will give me all the generally which are used in our daily in regular calculations in machine learning: count, mean, standard deviation. These are the generally used. Okay, now how to drop the columns? Okay, yeah. So for dropping the columns, I have df dot drop method. So let's see what's it doing. Okay, let me first execute df. This is my df. Okay, now if I need to drop 4 and 5. Okay, now let's see. This is my 4, this is my 5 row. Okay, 4 and 5. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is gone. Okay, so df dot drop 4, 5 is gone. So if I try to check again df, but it will say the 4, 5 is already here. Okay, so df dot drop will drop the 4 and 5 and create new data frame, but it will not replace within that old data frame. Okay, so just focus on this, that it does not drop the data and the data from the this data frame. It will create new data frame. Okay, so let's say I will assign in new df. Let's say, okay, I will assign this into new df and I will try to print new df over here. Okay, new df. Now see, now this data doesn't have 4 and 5, but the original data frame has 4 and 5. Okay, so we need to assign this into a new variable and try to access this. But there is one more method. If you don't need to do this assigning variable, if you want to change within the data frame, then you can do df.drop the column, the rows name, so 4 and 5, and thereafter you can pass one parameter, that is in place equals to 2. In place means within this, in place. Okay, so within this data frame, just remove this. I don't need to assign in new data frame and access. Okay, so if I do this, it will give me a data frame df with 4 and 5 columns removed. Okay, so let's try to remove now. Okay, I will comment this one. Now I will execute this one. I'm not assigning to anything. Okay, now I'll execute this one. Okay, now I'll try to access df. Now see, this df, original df is changed. 4 and 5 is gone. Okay, so this is the key we need to use. Okay, now I will revert this thing because I need to demonstrate other things also. I will execute this again. Okay, now my data frame is now again 4 and 5 is here now. Now you can see 4 and 5 is there. Okay, I have demonstrated you this in place equals to true. Now similarly, Similarly, there is drop the column. So I have shown you how to drop rows. Okay, I have dropped 4 and 5th rows. But if I need to drop columns, so let's say I need to remove this name column. Okay, so what I can do, same syntax, dot drop, and pass the column name. Just like here, I have passed the row name, row index. Similarly, I'll pass the column name. Okay, now what I need to change, x equals to 1. Again, same thing that I have discussed, x equals to 1. Okay, now if I do x equals to 1, then it will remove the column name from here. Okay, now I will try to execute to see there is no name in this data frame. Okay, now again, same concept. I have not passed this value in place equals to true. So my original data frame is intact. Okay, no change. Name is already here. So if you need to remove, you need to run this code. Okay, I'm not gonna run this code because it will remove me and I'm gonna have to execute the whole thing again. Okay, but you can try. I will share you this file and you can do that. Okay, so yeah, this is the drop things you need to do. Okay, so first I think I will share this file with you. Okay, yeah, I think I have shared with you in the drive. Okay, so first still here, just try to execute by your own in your data in your Python Jupyter notebook. So I'm gonna ping the link in this chat. Okay, so download this not numpy, this pandas 1 dot Python notebook. Okay, and open this in your Jupyter notebook. So those who don't know how to open, ping me, I will guide you on that. So those who know, just try to execute command till here and let me know if there is any issue with that. So can you just ping me if everyone can access this drive and they know how to download the Python notebook IP YNB file and execute in the Jupyter notebook, or those who don't know, they can just ping me in the chat or I can help you. Okay, so within this data frame, it has its individual rows and columns. Okay, so rows for 0, this is 0th row, this is 1 row, and this is 0 column, this is first column, this second column, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, so if I'm giving that index location 0, it means it will give me this data. Okay, now if I give 1 over here, it will give me second. This is how I can access the rows. Okay, let's say I need to access from 0 to this. So let's say top 3. I need to access these 3. Okay, these 3. So how can I pass? So it start from 0 colon. Okay, so I need 0, 1, 2. Okay, till 2. I need till 2. But in Python, we need to add +1 over at the last index. Okay, so I will pass 3 because I need 0, 1 row, 2 row. So 2 plus 1, 3. So if I execute this one, now see 1, 2, 3. I'm getting this data. Okay, now you will say this data I can get from df.head, and df.head I can pass 3 over here like this. I can pass this, right? Yeah, you can get this, but let's see the power of index location. Okay, I will show you that. Now let's say you want in the middle of this 3, this index, and 6 index, let's say 3 and 6 only. Can we do with df.head? No, not possible, right? So in that case, what I can do like this. So I need 3 and 6. Okay, so I just pass over 3 and 6. Okay, so 3 means always +1. 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have passed 3 over here. Okay, and 6 means 6 plus 1, 7. So 7th index. So you can see this index is coming over my, and this I can slice any between that. But you have, if you have noticed or not, let me show you this one again. Index location, so 0 to 3. So earlier I passed like this one. Now I'm passing in different way. See, so whenever there is a proper range, okay, so from 0 to 3, so it's a continuous range from 0 to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's continuing my range. So I can pass directly 0 to 3. But if I want to in the middle of the data, so some data from here, some data from this, some data from here. Okay, so in that case, I need to pass within another list. Okay, so another list, and pass the list of columns I need to access. Is this clear or not? Just ping me if it is clear or not. I will explain you again if there is any doubt in this, because it's pretty much complicated. Not complicated, is confusing basically. So every time it's gave me confused. Or I can explain this in next session in fresh mind. Okay, so maybe we have already discussed up 19 methods already. Okay, or I can cover this in next, because this is pretty much important thing we need to discuss, and you guys should understand this. Okay, so until now it's clear, right? Everything. So I think I will wind up this session for today, because it will be more preferable in the starting of the session, because it's an important topic for slicing the data frame. Okay, so we can we can do in tomorrow session. Okay, we're not in a hurry. Okay, so can guys just ping me if you are good with today's session. So if you are any doubt or any issues, I think I will continue the slicing in tomorrow session. Yeah, it will be a better option. Sorry guys, okay with it, or you have any doubt for today's session? Just ping me, okay? So I can get some information.